Good evening. Welcome to the May 28th, 2025 regular meeting of the Township Committee. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk, all on January 11th, 2025. Committeeman Clark.
Here.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Here.
Committeeman Sedambrino. Deputy Mayor Hybel. Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. First item we have on our agenda tonight is a presentation recognizing Thorne Middle School Select B, Choir B, Naturals, and Vocal Vibe Show Choir. At this time, I would like to invite chorus teacher Nick Jabinka and the Thorne Middle School Select Choir B Naturals and Vocal Vibe Show Choir to join Mayor Perry at the front of the room.
Okay. Thorne Middle School, or B Naturals. I've had the great privilege of being at a few events, including some for Anita Thorne Kaiser, the sister of the namesake of Thorne Middle School, hearing the performances of the B Naturals. This is the first time we've ever had a chorus here at Town Hall, so I'm not going to belabor it. Take it away.
Right. Hey, this song is called "Does the World Say" by Kyle Peterson.
Does the world say that you're just not
That's awesome. Yeah. Start off every week.
I agree.
How busy are you the first? Amazing job, amazing job. Give yourselves a big round of applause. So let me just say this for the record. At the 2025 Hershey Park Music in the Parks Festival, you got excellent score in treble choir, first place in show choir, and best overall junior high choir. Is that right? Well, I'll tell you one thing, bring everybody on back that you competed against this year, because there's no chance they're beating you in 2026. Let me say that, this governing body, this township, I mean, look at all these proud faces, moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody that's here, is so proud of you. So enjoy this moment, enjoy it, be ready for next year, bring back another list of awards, because you didn't leave with just one, you left with 3. So I got a little bit of a is 4 too many next year? I was really gonna say 5 a second ago, but let's come back, let's be champions. I hope you all enjoyed this opportunity. I know, I'm speechless at the fact that you are all here in this governing body's meeting to provide everyone here with an excellent show. That was amazing. So on behalf of the Township Committee, we have certificates for all of you. It says the Township of Middletown hereby congratulates Thorne Middle School Select Choir B Naturals and Vocal Vibe Show Choir for winning awards at the 2025 Hershey Park Music in the Parks Festival. We applaud you for showing off your talents. Unbelievable, amazing, incredible talents. At the Hershey Park Music in the Parks Festival this May, you were able to hit all the right notes. First person, there she is. Hit me with another pun. All the right notes and earned awards for excellent score and treble choir, first place in the show choir, and best overall junior high choir. Thank you, thank you, thank you for shining an unbelievable spotlight.
Yeah,
I love putting.
it's fine. This group, this is actually the first year that I include 6th graders in the group. It's been a great decision. This group is amazing. I've been doing this a long time. I've been at a lot of the different schools here in Middletown, but this is by far my best group that I've ever worked with. Their dedication, their talent, the sound that they get, their hard work, and just the people they are. They're just amazing people to work with. So thank you for allowing me to work with them every single day. It's such a great thing for all of us to be able to do this, to share music with the community, to get out of the gym and just go all over the place and sing and just share their amazing talents. But they're also amazing people, as you all know, and they're really, really cool kids. And it's been such an awesome experience this year. I'm gonna miss my 8th graders tremendously. And the rest of you, we're in for more next year, right? 5 awards next year. So.
You heard it here. He said 5. I said 4. Let's give another round of applause. I'm just going down. You do?
Yeah, together better. We are better.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are we good with that? Yeah.
Just give me
Very structured.
Just sign over to you.
Together
Well, it sounded pretty good, to be putting you on the spot right there. One more, congratulations. Where's this fellow? So this is, I say all the time for all of our athletes that come in, this is a team effort, right? No one person, but Isabella was recognized as the overall soloist award at the Hershey Park Music Festival, winning the coveted overall soloist award at this festival. So while this is a team effort, a group effort, on the individual basis, you came in first, I hear. So congratulations. Okay, we're gonna take a quick picture, but Middletown, let's give it up for these guys. Everybody that was hiding in the back, come forward. Ready, Rick?
Yeah. All right, I think, yeah, everyone. All right, 1, 2, 3. Awesome, and if you want to stay there while your parents and guardians take photos as well.
Who's the first back?
All right, great job, everybody. My knee is tired. Watch. We have one more presentation before everybody leaves. One more presentation, so just ask if everybody could just take a quick seat. Good job. All right, We have one more presentation before we get to, before we'll let everybody leave. Can I just ask that Sergeant First Class Justin Labadie step forward? By his facial expression, you'll realize he does not know he's gonna be called up here. So, right, this. I'm not your commanding officer, it's okay. For those of you who don't know, Sergeant First Class Justin Labadie, came home, this past weekend, is that right? After 21 years of service in the United States Army. Born and raised right here in Middletown. Sergeant First Class Labadie joined the military after he witnessed the tragic events of September 11, 2001. And has faithfully been serving our country, defending it here and certainly abroad with two good in Afghanistan. And today, we are very honored that not only have you returned safely home, but that you've returned right here to Middletown. I believe you had a loved one that was in the B Naturals, correct? Or and so he was unaware that he was going to be recognized today. But we are I think I can speak on behalf of everybody here. Grateful for your service, grateful for everything that you have done to protect our country, to protect them here in Afghanistan. Because he probably had what's got to be one of the most dangerous jobs, certainly in the military, but it's got to be one of the coolest too. You had some fun? Yeah, you get to blow stuff up. He was an EOD tech, or explosive ordnance disposal tech. It takes a special person to volunteer to go in the United States military. It takes an extra special person to be an EOD. But Sergeant First Class Justin Labadie did that for 21 years, protecting me, you, and our families. Sergeant First Class, God bless you. Thank you for your service to this country. Thank you for representing Middletown, and thank you for defending freedom both here and abroad. Welcome home. First Class, I'm honored to present you with this flag that flew over this town in this town hall in your honor, for all your years of service. Thank you very much. This is for you as a thank you for our appreciation and in your honor. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Obviously, my family. My mom. Who has backed me every time I come through, but like, I have this wonderful idea. My wife, who's had to watch me walk out the door some morning, wondered when I was going to get called in on. And to everybody here that has shown your support. Thank you all. Right here. Yep. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Yeah. This is the least one.
One, two, three. Welcome home, thank you.
Well, we could end the meeting on a high note.
I know.
All right, we're gonna take a 5-minute recess. Thank you all. I know some of you literally said I have homework to do, so this is your opportunity, but thank you all very much.
That was great. I haven't. Not that bad.
Okay, we had one last proclamation for the record, which was recognizing May 2025 as Buddy Poppy Month in the Township of Middletown. The next item up on our agenda, we have our budget public hearing, Resolution 25-154, resolution authorizing the 2025 municipal operating budget.
You said the operating line, right? Okay. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment on the proposed operating budget may do so. Joe is gonna bring up the microphone. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment? See? Going once, going twice. Okay, seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve. Second.
Committeeman Clark,
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz,
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve Resolution 25-154, adopting the 2025 municipal operating budget. Next item on our agenda, we have the approval of minutes for the April 28th, 2025 regular meeting and the May 12th, 2025 workshop meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Committeeman Clark,
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz,
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve the minutes. Next on our agenda, we have a public hearing of proposed ordinances. First ordinance 2025-3463, an ordinance amendment chapter 240 of the Code of the Township of Middletown governing certain fee schedules for planning and development.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3463? Don, come on down.
Good evening, my name is Don Watson, living at 1 Collinson Drive in New Monmouth.
I was not aware of his name or address, so I'm glad he said it. Go ahead, Don.
Did you get it?
I got it. I wrote it down.
Oh, good thing. Can you give us a little insight on what these ordinances are about? They weren't included with the packet that was posted online.
These, the Tony can, if, Tony grab, I saw Tony grab his microphone. These were the ones that were discussed, both of these ordinances 2 meetings ago, I believe, right, Tom?
The last meeting.
No, they were discussion items.
Oh, they were discussion items. No, they were already introduced, right? This is the.
Yeah, it's a public hearing.
Yeah, it's probably.
That's why I'm here.
These are ordinances that have to do with planning and zoning board application fees.
Oh,
They
okay.
haven't been updated in more than 10 years.
Okay.
Well, around 10 years. So it's they're paid by the developers, and applicants who want to come in and build things. So it's just fees to cover the cost of consultants and whoever we hire to review those applications.
Okay, I wasn't sure, because like I said.
We obviously don't want the taxpayers paying for certain work that's being done by our planner, zoning officer, whomever, they should be paid for by the applicant. So this increases those fees to cover the overall cost for all applications.
That's what he said.
Coming in. Yeah, but I said it
Yeah,
better.
I mean, that's mostly, what they are. There's a couple, there's one of the new ones is, if you remember, a few months ago, we adopted an ordinance that regulates tree removals now, which is not our favorite subject. We have to do it anyway. So there's a $25 fee for the certain cases where trees have to be removed. Things like that, yeah.
So are these fees in both chapters of the code?
Yes, but they're different sorts of fees.
Because they're different codes.
Yeah, there are codes, some of them deal with like floodplain issues,
Mhm.
floodplain encroachment permits and things like that. On one of the fields, I think, as I mentioned last meeting, we actually lowered one
Going
fee
down.
because there's so many more applications coming in and we don't have to use a consultant. Now we have an in-house person who can do it, so it's less costly. So we were able to lower the fee for a change.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. Any other member of the public who's gonna make a public comment? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve. Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Next, we have ordinance 2025-3464, an ordinance amendment chapter 540 of the Code of the Township of Middletown governing certain fees for planning and development.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3464? Seeing no member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve. Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Next, we have ordinance 2025-3465, an ordinance establishing the fair market value of a permanent roadway easement upon a portion of block 1072, lot 41, 642 Newman Springs Road within the Township of Middletown, and authorizing acquisition of deed of permanent roadway easement by purchase or eminent domain for the purpose of enhancing roadway circulation and improving traffic conditions.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3465? Don?
Good evening, my name's Don Watson, living at 1 Collinson Drive. That's in New Monmouth.
W. Watson?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
capital W.
Go ahead.
Does this ordinance refer to the Acme Road?
Yes, it does. It's actually the easement along the convenience store. That would be the ingress and egress now out onto the one-way
I
Acme
think
Road.
Melanie had a conversation.
Yeah.
This was the last piece that was necessary.
Yeah,
Right, I just wanted to verify.
Yep.
Because it wasn't included in the packet,
yes, that's just for the two-way Acme roadway.
really. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2025-3465? Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Next item up on our agenda, we have the introduction of proposed ordinances. 2025-3466 is an ordinance authorizing lease renewal with the Navesink Maritime Heritage Association, a not-for-profit organization, for the Grover House located upon block 1016, lot 6, as shown on the tax map of the Township of Middletown, not currently required for public purpose pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-14C.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with the public hearing to be held June 16, 2025. The next introduction we have is 2025-3467, an ordinance amending township salary ordinance setting salaries for non-contractual employees for 2025 and 2026.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Clark.
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz,
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held June 16th, 2025. At this time, I'd like to ask the Township Committee to adopt a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 25-182 through 25-200, removing 25-194 since the budget was introduced and passed tonight. I mean, it was passed tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
You no longer need an emergency appropriation coming? Okay. Motion to approve the consent agenda. Second.
Committeeman Clark,
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz,
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass consent agenda.
Okay. Township Committee comments? Committeewoman Kratz? Yep, you're first.
What a wonderful meeting. My gosh, if we could begin every meeting that way, as the mayor said, how wonderful was it to really hear the choir and to welcome home First Class Sergeant. Really, a wonderful beginning to a very, a great meeting and to have one of Middletown's own be welcomed home so warmly was really wonderful. And I think he was absolutely surprised and touched, which is even better. So, just wanted to again welcome him home and congratulate our chorus members for sure. Also big shout out for everyone, for the parade, and I'll just touch on it, I'll allow you to do your due diligence, Mayor, but, wonderful day, wonderful event, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Committeeman Clark.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to echo Committeewoman Kratz's comments. Anytime that we can have kids from the schools in here to brighten up the tenor of a meeting is A-OK in my book. And not only do we have course members here, it looks like we have some high school students here doing an assignment. So great to see some young smiling faces here, learning all about how government works. Some of you may know it a little better than others. You might have grown up with it. But it's pretty cool. So thank you guys for being here. It was really neat to have the chorus here. To have First Class Sergeant recognized as well is pretty amazing. I will reserve comment about the parade for Mayor Perry. And 2 weeks ago or last week, we had the opportunity to be part of the Be the Difference walk over at the Middletown Arts Center. Put on by two amazing young women in our community and embraced by the high school community, which is something really special. And I spoke at length last month about why it's special to me. And I'll say it one more time with a lot less words, but everybody's affected by mental health issues and suicide. And if you have a friend who you think may be having problems, talk to them, find somebody for them to talk to. If there's things that you couldn't take care of or help with, don't blame yourself. It's really easy to. Yeah, so at any rate, I hope everybody has a good beginning of your summer. Thank you, Mayor.
All right. I just want to thank everyone that was involved, especially the American Legion 338 for their efforts for the Memorial Day Parade. We had a beautiful day, great turnout. So grateful to see so many people out there thanking the service and sacrifice of so many people that have worn the uniform, but unfortunately not returned home. But it was a wonderful display of patriotism and love for our country, and couldn't be more proud year after year that this parade continues to demonstrate that pride in America, pride in our service members. So thankful to the American Legion Post and to everybody here that helps make that possible. And I'll stop there because I'll echo all the comments that we made previously about everyone up front here. It was a wonderful day. Thank you to all of our communication high school students that are here. Got to talk with many of you about the different things that you're working on. So congratulations to all of you. Stay interested. Keep going. Keep asking the right questions. So good luck to all of you and as you kind of wrap up the end of your school year here. So best of luck to all of you. With that, I'll open it up for public comment. Any member of the public wishing to make a public comment may do so. We ask that you state your name for the record, that you keep your comments to 5 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll let you know that you have 1 minute remaining. I say that, you know that I'm always flexible on that. And then I'll go to you then, all right? Right here, and then I'll go to them. Since I'm like Don's address, I have no idea why you're coming up here.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Anyway, my name is Susan Makaitis, and I live at 63 Pate Drive in Navesink. This is my 5th appearance at a Middletown council meeting without getting an answer to my request. On my 4 previous visits, I requested that the council consider a resolution supporting the Superfund Act. Once again, I see that it's not on the agenda, and I need to ask why. I know you had comments, Mayor Perry, about your conversations, but I still don't know what the issue is that's holding up support for that bill.
I think that bills for the sake of bills are bad, number one. That's just a policy that I think flashy bills are irrelevant to the process. But the conversations that we have with members of the legislature, it should take time. That's the beauty of it, is that I am able to make comments. And having worked in the legislature for 4.5 years and having worked in the executive branch for 4 years, I have a little bit of experience dealing with how the process unfolds. Tony and I and other members of the governing body have conversations with legislators on both sides of the aisle all the time. And that's a good, healthy part of the process.
Right.
I have some issues and concerns with this bill. And for that reason, you're not seeing it move. That's the very reason that it's not moving, is because I think that there are a lot of businesses and legislators and mayors and elected officials from all over that are making comments. As I told you before, I've made those comments, and I know that there's many comments that are coming in, and we'll see what the final version of that bill looks like and whether or not this governing body wishes to take a stand on that legislation. We often will take stands on legislation. We often have comments about what we think is right and what is wrong. And if we choose to take that stand, we will at the appropriate time. But right now, we're not prepared to make any comments until I hear the feedback to the comments that were given.
Can you share what the concern is?
The concern is, I think that it provides way too much latitude to certain government departments that don't have oversight. And I think that giving unspecified direction and latitude to individuals in Trenton is not always the best way to go, because things get bogged up into the works. And that we should be incentivizing and working to get Superfund sites cleaned up and completed. And you're right, there needs to be a conversation across all folks. But I worry that when you have a Department of Environmental Protection that is still not working 5 days a week in the office, I have a serious problem with that, because my tax dollars, along with yours and everybody else's in this room, is paying for those individuals to work. And I still, and I think Tony would agree with this, do not see the productivity level that we would demand out of a department on simple matters. What gives me any confidence that there is going to be production out of DEP or any other state department that's going to oversee this cleanup? And we are going to see exactly what we've seen in the past, decades and decades and decades of government and bureaucratic nightmares that do not actually clean up these sites. That's my concern.
Okay, that's fair.
All right.
Well, I appreciate your time and your efforts, and I look forward to you getting your comments submitted into the bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Oh, sir, I'm just gonna go to Vinny and then I'll come right to you. Vin?
Vinnie Moran, 39 Prevent Leonardo. Is that a little ordinary? Why do you come down here?
Oh, boy.
Out of arm's reach, Tony.
Notice how he does this after the chief leaves.
Trust me, I'm harmless.
We know that's not true.
I'm too old.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, you're mine.
Yeah.
As you know,
You're the reason we put this barrier in.
there's a gate over there and there's a gate over there. I may be 70, but I'll still hop this. Okay. As you know, we had that fishing derby on May 4th. Okay, we had a great turnout. Okay, I had 45 kids. had 50 applicants, 50 kids. You were there, you singing, okay? We felt a little bad about it when you walked away and you didn't catch a fish. Okay, so what I did, okay,
Feel like the
Alright.
Godfather right now.
this is the one that got away, okay? That's the one that got away. That's the one you didn't catch. So I want you to put that in your office, okay?
Thank you, pal. I appreciate it.
All right,
Very much.
now down to business, get back over there.
You know what, I'm actually gonna retain your time for a second. You were not here at our last meeting. And I wanna say this, because you didn't get to hear me say it, and while you might not believe it, Vinny, I do wanna seriously, I said it last meeting and I'll say it again. Thank you for what you did at that day. You know, you have become a staple of that back corner back there. And to see you at Fireman's Pond, at Garvey's Pond, I guess for now we're done.
Well, believe it or not, to interrupt you, that used to be Navasink Fire Department.
I know, that's why I'm volunteering.
Yeah.
But to see how engaged you were, the love that you have for fishing was obvious, and the love and the joy that you've gotten out of it, to try and give that back to the young people that were there. I was there with my son Brant, who's 3, who gave up after about the 3rd piece of bait we lost and wanted to, you know, go do something else, I guess. But I was adamant, and then it started raining. But Vinny, you were there the whole time. You were there to help every kid. And I said it last time, but I'll say it again. Thank you for volunteering your time for the kids of a hobby that you love.
Well, it pulled me out of the hole. It's a hard time that I had. It pulled me out.
You want me to go back up there now?
Yeah, I'm the one who did.
Okay, all right. Thank you, pal. I appreciate this.
You don't have to bait a hook to catch that either. You can put a hot dog in there, not a worm. Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry, Vinny, your 5 minutes is up. No, I'm kidding.
all right. I'm gonna come to you people and I'm gonna ask, I have a little problem, okay? As you've seen what we had at Garvey's Pond, you know what Garvey Pond looks like. Some of you do, some of you don't, that's okay, all right? Because years ago, I used to hold the fishing derby and we used to do it in the back of Shadow Lake. Okay, Shadow Lake is. So what I would like to do, and I'd like to find out, okay, is I would like to try to get Garvey's Pond cleaned up on the left and on the right-hand side of that. The spillway taken care of. And if possible, the floating docks that are in the back of Shadow Lake, move them to Garvey's on the left side and the right side. Now I have much more room for more kids, because like we had 45, a lot of them turned away and walked away, okay, because we had grown-ups there. Now, can this be done with open space funds, or would this go under Green Acres funds?
I'm sure if we wanted to do something, it could fall under open space. And you know, we probably wouldn't apply to Green Acres for something like this unless we're talking about dredging. But you're absolutely right. In fact, Ted and I discussed some of the branches that were along closest to the driveway over there that have spilled down just into the shallow parts. And addressing that, just cleaning that out, just a little bit, utilizing our clean communities perhaps to just try and pull some of that stuff out. As far as the docks, you know, I don't know, is Green Acres,
Suggestion.
sure you can, sure,
So just so you're aware, we just submitted an application
for Shadow Lake.
for Shadow Lake
Yeah.
through Congressman Smith's office. We're kind of a little bit optimistic that we might get some funding to actually get Shadow Lake dredged. Because as you know, Shadow Lake doesn't get stocked anymore because there's no public access. Garvey's Pond still does get stocked.
Yes.
So, but I wouldn't suggest we would take those out because I think they would get destroyed just taking them out. I would suggest we look to get new ones, put at Garvey's Pond. and hopefully we get lucky with the grant from the state, from the federal government to do Shadow Lake. In the meantime, I think we could look at adding the floating docks to Garden's to get better access to the water. Because if we get lucky with Shadow Lake, maybe down the road, Garvey's Pond and Orsi Pond would be the next two we'd wanna look at dredging.
Well, I mean, yeah, in back of Shadow Lake, I mean, we hardly have any water back there.
That's the whole idea, to
Yeah.
get that area back to be 4 feet.
Because I mean, I was a kid, there was never an island there, all of a sudden this
Yeah.
island comes up out of nowhere, you know?
Well, and a big part of it is taking a look at it from a 30,000 foot view. You have a bridge that is gonna have to be replaced. You have a dam that has to be addressed. And all of these things, the hope is always that you can do them all at the same time.
You're talking about Garvey's.
I'm talking about Shadow Lake.
Oh, okay, all
The
right.
the dam is well over 100 years old.
Well, didn't they just repair that not too long ago?
Yeah, but just probably a temporary repair.
Okay, all right.
Rather than a replacement of it. But we've been working with DEP on that. But the bridge needs to be replaced, that's the county. We wanna make the improvements to the walkway, right, over on Hubbard. So all these, you wanna try and get them all done at the same time, cause you wanna not impact people forever. And then open and redo and all that stuff.
Okay.
So we have been actively working on trying to address Shadow Lake. But we can always certainly look at Garvey's as well.
Well, I would appreciate it, I mean, you know, because I mean, it was local.
Yeah.
Everybody showed up, you saw it,
Yeah,
you know, and
That was great.
I was really surprised myself that we had that many kids.
yeah,
You know, and I was like, wow.
it was great.
And then, we also gave out, thank you letters to the 5 tackle shops that gave away, real rod and reel combinations, and we raffled them off to the kids.
And Ben, just so you know, there's a bait tip from me, okay, and we'll take it for what it's worth. So I had took all the kids to Brennan's and we drove over to Garvey's Pond a couple days after that, cause I was so, it was so painful to walk away and not get a single fish. So I finished my dinner, I took a piece of the chicken that I hadn't finished, I put it on my hook, I cast it in, 2 seconds, so. Brennan's Chicken Caesar wrapped chicken is great bait, alright? In case you're interested.
No,
I wouldn't take fishing advice from me either.
I mean, you had to picture him trying to bait a hot dog on a hook. You had to picture this. I mean, you know, it was worth 1,000 words. It was.
I'm just glad you were there and not taking a picture.
Oh, we got one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, we might hold a fishing emporium for the kids.
Okay,
We might hold that at Horsey's Park. We
Good.
might, you know, we're thinking about it during the winter
well,
months.
the new dock over there and the steps and everything looks great, they did a great job over there, so.
So, all right. Now, my next thing is, I know it belongs to the state.
Yeah,
right? Cherry Tree Farm Road and 35.
yep,
That light there, something has to be done. Okay, where it says they turn left on the green. All right, on both sides. Everybody going across stops. And then it says yield to oncoming traffic to the left. I've seen so many accidents over that way, because I take my daughter to work that way.
I'm in that intersection every day.
Yeah, well, I think it should be left turn on green only. Not red, and put the red one up there, because they're trying to beat you out from coming across. And
Okay.
one day I came across, and this woman just came out of nowhere, and lucky thing I was 3 cars back. The guy in front of me got hit broadside, right there. And I don't know how many accidents it had, but that's a dangerous intersection, the way they did that. So I don't know how you get about doing it. I
We'll
know,
talk to the DOT,
yeah, that's the only way you can do it.
we'll ask them if
Okay.
they are seeing an increase in accidents.
All right, I know my time's up.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you, my
thank you
friend,
very much.
I appreciate it,
Now be in touch.
thank you, thanks, man. Yes, sir. How are you today?
That's a tough act to follow.
Very tough.
It's only 17 Club Way. I just moved out here about 1.5 years ago. And we've had some issues with the road and potholes that have been pretty significant. So I'm just curious how you decide which roads you're gonna repave and how that works. I'm asking you this because initially, there was big potholes when you sort of entered Clubway, you would hit your bottom of your car with it, it was sort of patched over. There was another one that was pretty deep, you patched it over. And just the other day, I was riding my bicycle, I hit a pothole that was 6 inches, almost a foot deep, over a yard wide, took a very bad fall on my bike and, you know, I called, you know, raised this issue. Somebody then now hurried up and, you know, covered it up and patched it up again. But it's sort of a chronic problem, and I think it's really actually quite dangerous.
So the way, yeah, so let me take a step back. Yes, we've made a series of capital investments into a paving crew, in-house paving, because for far too long, we outsourced most of that away. A lot of our paving is done through shared services with the county. We will utilize them because they're cheaper than everybody else. We can pay them for the materials and the labor, and you're really not paying for anything above that because it's a county resource. This year, several of our roads, I think Ted had at least 12 of them on there, right, Tony? On there to be slated to be paid by the county. The one thing that I tell everybody that asks me this question is, as you may see, you get notifications from New Jersey American Water out there. And you know, in fact, I see Mark back there, Hillside. I don't know how familiar you are, but that was terrible. It was awful, and the county came and paved it. The reason I bring that up is because then, like 2 weeks later, there was an emergency in the roadway, and they needed to do an emergency repair, and they come in and they jackhammer it up, and then they patch it. The other issue that I and the township are trying to get through at this point is the federal government and the state have put a timeline on that all lead pipes must be replaced by New Jersey American Water, which is great. We want that to happen quickly, but we need participation by the public to self-test their lines in Middletown. That's how they determine them. Well, they're responsible for paving the roads after that is done. New Jersey American Water has not yet completed Middletown yet. And so we're trying to be strategic in the roads that we pave are not in a month, 6 months, a year, going to be jacked up by New Jersey American Water for lead line replacements. That's why you're seeing the billboards on 35 and 36 for this. So it's really a participation. They only have, I think, 6 more years left to be able to do this. So this needs to be completed because you can't invest millions of dollars in the roads being repaved only for the water company to then come back and repave it on their dime when they should be doing it now.
So I appreciate the answer, but what can I expect about when the road will be repaired? I mean, can I just?
Your section of town has not yet been inspected by New Jersey American Water. I believe they just moved from East Keensburg and they moved downward towards Port Monmouth, Belford area.
They're going like northwest to
Down.
southeast.
Yeah.
So they'll get
You're waiting for New Jersey Water
a few more
to.
weeks, they should be down to your neighborhood. They'll send you a notification that they're gonna be contacting you and telling you how to self-check. But if not, they'll send somebody to your house.
And then once that happens, then I
So
self-check and
if
then.
we know, that, for example, that there are very few or no lead or galvanized pipes that have to be replaced, then that street is more.
Now we have assurance that we can go into your neighborhood.
Because we know it's not gonna get torn up.
And you'll repave it.
Correct. We can't spend $500,000 on a road and have the county dedicate us time when there's roads that we know can be paved now because they fall outside the timeline of when they were utilizing lead and galvanized pipe. So all these factors go into, we have 375 miles worth of roadway and we budget responsibly when it comes to our capital. And so we try and fit into what we believe we can afford and phase in repavement, but utilizing the work and efforts of our utility companies as well.
Okay, I just want you should be aware though that some of the roads are really quite dangerous. I mean, I've ridden a bicycle in New York City my whole life. I've never hit a pothole like this ever.
Well, we don't have people getting hit by taxis either, so,
Yeah.
you know,
well, anyway.
thank you very much. We'll check it out. Any other member of the public? Yes, sir. Love it.
My name is Ralph Quinn, I'm at 5 Doherty Drive, and this might not even come across your desk, but we recently, my whole street, like, the recycling truck was like a couple days late. I don't know if there's, you knew about this, but it was kind of caused a bit of an issue for us, but, besides that, Mr. Ryan M. Clark, your haircut, electric. Awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, you say that.
The haircut is meant for your demographic and age group of people too.
Working.
I like the whole name.
Yeah. What's your middle name, Ryan? Okay. Does it say that on your plaque? How do you know your middle initials? No, but does it say it on it? Okay. I thought he looked you up or something.
That's it for me.
All right, thank you very much. Electric haircut. Karen, if I don't see that in the minutes, I will not approve them. All right, any other member of the?
My own record.
He's gotta go home and tell his kids that.
Hi, I'm Grace Jameson. I live in Lincroft. I don't really have like a specific question. I was just wondering if you could elaborate more on that bill Miss Susan was talking about, because I didn't really know what.
It's a super fun bill. So when there is large cleanups that need to occur because a company has left, there's been I don't want to use the word iconic, but there's been very famous Hess was a very famous Superfund site, and it means that there's an immense amount of cleanup that needs to occur to clean these facilities. And you run into these problems in pretty much not to the Superfund level, but you run into contamination problems pretty much wherever you go in the state of New Jersey, because DEP, for instance, we were talking about Shadow Lake earlier. Okay, Lincroft was an apple orchard, all right, forever. But there is naturally occurring arsenic in Lincroft's ground. It just trickles, right? Well, that is technically a contaminant classified by the Department of Environmental Protection. So you need to do a cleanup of that. So until you are able to bring it to a certain parts per million within the site, it is a contaminated site. And it all depends. For instance, if you go on Route 35 or Route 36, or you look at when you get across the bridge in Red Bank and you see those two old gas stations that were right there, right? Those are going to be contaminated, and there is efforts that needs to place an onus, responsibility on the entities that owned those properties that caused that contaminant to clean them up. There's a lot of difficult questions that goes along with that. How do you enforce that if a entity goes out of business, right? Like the gas stations in where our veterans housing project is now, right? That was an auto repair. There was contaminants on that site, and we had to clean them up, right, to make it acceptable within the ranges that are defined by the DEP. But the person that caused that is long gone, and 5 titles different in terms of who's owned them. And if the town had to wait to litigate every single person during every single change of ownership through a million LLCs, we would be nowhere on that.
Okay.
So that's kind of a smaller downscaled version of what we're talking about.
So it's about cleaning it out faster.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
You got it. Any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment? Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm David Villacova. I'm actually not from Middletown, I'm from West Long Branch, but I just had a couple questions.
That's okay. We still let you talk.
Some items on the agenda. So,
Sure.
I just, can you just elaborate on some of these, because there's some that I think.
Go ahead. What number?
Okay, so first, 25-184.
You're talking about in the consent agenda?
Yes.
So hang on a second, a resolution authorizing the state of New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Green Acres Program, Horsey Park watershed improvements.
Yeah.
That provides us the ability, the clearance to make certain improvements to this area with the authorization of Green Acres because it is it's on our Rossi. So we need to be able to get their permission to make these improvements because whenever you work with Green Acres, the municipality puts out 100% of the money, but then the Green Acres Fund will pay you back 50% of those funds. It's a much longer process, right, Colleen, than that?
Okay.
But this enables those improvements to be made.
One thing that's important to understand the distinction, a lot of times people think the term green acres just means undeveloped land. And that is one definition of it, but when we use the term, the mayor's using the term green acres, we're talking about an agency of the state. State has a whole division called the State Green Acres Program. So they're regulators of the state. So when we make improvements on parks, sometimes we get loans or grants from the state to do those. And that's the case here. And so they have to approve any work we're gonna do on a park. So that's kind of what this one is. So Green Acres is actually a state program, not just open land.
Okay, thank you. And then also, agenda item 18, for awarding the contract for site suitability analysis. I was just wondering why.
19.
19? Okay.
25-190.
Yes, 29, that's one.
Okay.
I'm just wondering why that needs to happen.
Because we're currently in the process of dealing with litigation on that. And we need to authorize what the site suitability is for that process. Brian, I don't know if you.
So this is specifically for an expert report to demonstrate why a particular site is not suitable for development due to environmental constraints on the site.
And then lastly, for 25-192 for the bus stop shelter, I was just wondering if there was a specific reason why you guys wanted to get a shelter for that specific.
It's a new stop. I believe, was it Route 35 at Compton?
It's relocated. There's a shelter there now, but they're doing improvements to that intersection. They're redoing the angles, they're kind of a skewed intersection. So they're redoing that, and they're gonna move the bus shelter to a slightly better location.
Well, they're giving us a new bus shelter.
A brand new bus shelter, yeah.
We had to make a request of DOT to which shelter we wanted with this new location. So I believe we chose the Trenton model bus shelter, which is very nice looking, believe it or not.
Anytime you get a new bus shelter, the state requires the town to formally approve the location and the type. Just so that's on record that that's what we want.
And that we're saying it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. All right, any other member of the public wishing to make a public comment?
Hi, my name is Julia Hernandez. I'm not from Middletown either. Could I just get a little more information on the choir from before?
On the choir?
Yeah.
So the B Naturals are out of Thorne Middle School and they won, they received 3 awards as you might have heard, including Best Junior High Choir at the Hershey Park Awards concert in the park. Thank you. And so we would recognize them there because they're one of our middle school choir groups.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Any other members of the public wishing to make a public comment? Yes, sir. No, Don, hang on. Yeah,
I'm not from here. My name's Evan Scholes. And I just wanted to bring to the attention the condition of like a waterway in between Depot Drive and Kingfisher Drive.
Okay.
I have family who lives there.
Okay.
There was a pipe there that was like small and it didn't look bad. It was there since my parents were kids. And now there's like a big ugly border on it. It's bright gray. And there's just another layer to it. It's not very good looking. And I have gotten complaints about that. I don't know if they brought it up here. And
you said detail on Kingfisher?
Yeah. So,
I'll go look at it.
all right,
Light gray, you said?
sorry,
What, how'd you
it's
describe
just
it?
like a bright gray, like covering to it, and then there's like a border that just keeps you from crossing it.
Okay. I'll take a look.
I just want you to know what the purpose of that is.
I'm sure it's stormwater management, but I'd have to take a look.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Don? Well, you taking a walk or?
I was just gonna make sure nobody else knows that. Let me give everybody an opportunity. Anyway, my name's Don Watson, living at 1 Collinson Drive in New Monmouth.
Two Collinson or one?
Just one.
Okay.
Two's across the street. Want to start off by saying my neighborhood used to be an apple orchard too. That's all I have to say about that. I was looking at agenda items and resolution, we're awarding a contract for the tree service to replace a sewer pipe. Is that typical?
Yeah, we verified that they're qualified to do that work. A lot of companies, primarily do certain type of work, but they also do work that involve digging and piping and drainage and things like that. So we're having right now a project done, at the Tyndall Park, the octagon shaped building, by a company whose name you wouldn't think would do that work, but then when you look into them, they have, good credentials for it. So you can't always you can sometimes be fooled by the name of the company.
Right. Okay, I was just curious about that, made me scratch my head, even as I was standing here. I wanted to make some comments about the gentleman that fell on his bicycle. But so many other things came up, I lost my train of thought and didn't write it down.
All right.
Anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Don.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. And if you're gonna make a comment about his haircut, I'll let you come back up.
I wonder why you never pressed the top of his head. Cleared it up for me.
Any other member of the public, we should make a public comment. Seeing no other member of the public stepping forward, move to close the public portion and adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Get that.
Thank
Okay.
you. Committeeman Clark,
Yes.
Committeewoman Kratz,
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn.
Have a great night, everybody. Our next meeting, we do not have two June meetings any longer. We are June 16th. It's our next meeting, June 16th. All right. Have a great night, everybody.